Bonsoir, mon nom est Yann Robert et au nom de Eugene Lang et du comité organisateur, bienvenue à la cérémonie de remise des prix pour le concours national 2026 de cas pratiques pour les étudiants en administration publique. Quelle journée! Je suis ici depuis 7h15 ce matin. Quelle journée! Chers étudiants, vous avez été formidables. Avant quoi que ce soit d'autre, vous méritez une main d'applaudissements bien nourrie. Et aux entraîneurs, merci pour tout le travail que vous avez mis pour guider vos équipes. Elles ont performé à un très haut niveau. I know it's been a long journey getting here, and as I've just joked, it's also been a very long day. And you're all probably relieved that it is done. At least I'm relieved that it's done. I confirm without hesitation, though, that it was worth it. I hope every one of you, and I am speaking to the students here, I hope every one of you has had as positive an experience with the competition as the organizers and the judges have had in putting it together and watching the event unfold. This is not a case that you could solve. National security is not something that you study, analyze, propose a solution, and just move on. This case required you to think deeply about what sovereignty means and how to preserve what we cherish. Teams rose to the challenge. Before going any further, I would like to take this opportunity to start our virtual gathering tonight with a land acknowledgement. I am joining you this evening from the area known as Toronto, that has been caretaken by the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat. And it is now home to many First Nation, Inuit, and Métis community. We acknowledge the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. This territory is subject of the Dish with One Spoon, One Spoon Belt Covenant, an agreement to peaceably share and care for the Great Lakes region. We also acknowledge that we have members and attendees joining us today from across Canada, and many are in a different territory. From coast to coast to coast, we acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territory of all of the Inuit, Métis, and First Nation people that call this land home. February is Black History Month. We recognize that Canada is home to African Canadian communities whose culture, heritage, and histories have been and remain a key part of this country for more than 400 years. As a community of academics and public policy practitioners, we are committed to a lifelong journey of learning and working towards truth, reconciliation, and justice. I know you're all here to find out who won the Shepherd Prize. We're going to tease it just a bit longer. You just need to be patient just a little while longer. At this time, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who made this day possible. To the judges, all still active professionals with incredibly busy schedules who made time to do this and to do it with care, thank you. To Noah Morris, who came back this year to serve again as a head judge, your savvy and experience was essential in keeping us on track and moving things right along. To Christina Santini, Greg Hutton, Vincent Rigby, Violetta Quintanilla Webb, and Kimberly Rebenchuk, thank you. You have done something extremely important today, training and shaping the best of the best and the future of the public service. I also want to recognize and thank all of the members of the organizing committee without whom this day just would not have happened. Their sheer presence and enthusiasm made organizing this event a pleasure. As you all know, Eugene Lang at Queen's University wrote the case with the support of Bridget Waddingham. Eugene, we talked as early as last spring about the type of competition and case we wanted. In my humble, tad biased maybe, but humble opinion, the case was a success and achieved what we intended. Bridget, the case is fully researched and backed up, and I know you deserve a lot of credit for that. Thank you. To Nafisa Nawal, a former competitor in this event, who when the competition ended last year, graciously offered to support me in this adventure. Thank you. You were everywhere today. You've been everywhere for the last few weeks. Your incredible organizational skills have kept me on track, preparing and during the whole of the competition. Merci à Asala Abbas, étudiante de deuxième année à la maîtrise en affaires publiques et internationales de Glendon, pour ton appui continu et ta grande disponibilité. Aujourd'hui, elle a été très présente dans la salle d'accueil, en direct de Strasbourg. C'est très apprécié. Thank you to Twin Pines Multimedia, our technology partner, who again did a wonderful job. To Dusty Langlois and his team, thank you for your support, making sure that, technology-wise, this was another flawless day. I would also like to recognize our sponsors for this event. Much gratitude to the Canada School of Public Service for their continued commitment and support. If you have not yet taken advantage of their virtual tour, it's open until the end of the weekend. I highly encourage you to do so. The tour, provide lots of useful information for thinking about your future career in the public service. J'aimerais également remercier l'Institut de recherche en politique publique pour son appui financier, nous permettant d'offrir un prix aux 3 équipes qui monteront sur le podium. L'équipe gagnante du prix Shepherd recevra 1 250 $. L'équipe finissant en deuxième position recevra 750 $. Et l'équipe qui terminera troisième recevra 500 $. The winning team, if it is so interested, and as in years past, can also consider putting its proposal forward in an article for policy options. The IRPP is a longtime supporter of this event, and we are extremely grateful for their continued support. J'aimerais remercier l'École des affaires publiques et internationales du campus Glendon de l'Université York pour son appui financier à la compétition. Thank you to the Queen's School of Policy Studies, for making an RE available to support the research and the writing of the case. As you know, the winner of this competition wins the Shepherd Prize, so named in honor of Rob Shepherd, who spearheaded this competition for many years and made it what it is. I'm not seeing the list of participants. There is a possibility that Rob is with us tonight. Let me just add that when Eugene and I took over, Rob was extremely gracious and supportive in the transition period, provided us with absolutely everything we needed to make sure that today was a success. So if Rob is here, I'm not quite sure. I'm not currently seeing him on the screen. I know he could be doing any number of other things tonight, but I also know that he deeply cares about this event and that he wants to celebrate with our students and celebrate their success. Rob, once more, thank you. The budget for this competition would barely get you a sandwich at Pearson. All right. Maybe it's a bit of a stretch, but not much of a stretch. The point is, we organize and run this competition because we think it is important and that it matters. So lastly, thank you to all of the schools who participate year in and year out, to the coaches, to the students, to faculty members who provide support to teams in one way or another, to student peers who come in to aid their colleagues to listen to mock presentations. Thank you to public servants in residence, mentors, alumni, everyone and all those who watched on YouTube throughout the day and cheered on their team. Thank you for buying in and making this competition a success year after year. Et maintenant, la suite du programme. J'aimerais inviter le président de l'Association des programmes en administration publique du Canada, le professeur Jean-François Savard, à partager ses impressions de la journée.
Merci. Merci Yann. Euh, alors, je tiens d'abord à féliciter l'ensemble de tous les participants qui ont consacré une journée complète aujourd'hui et surtout 10 jours intense à travailler sur un cas qui était pas facile et je dirais plusieurs mois à se préparer. So congratulations to all the teams who spent all day today in front of the screen working really hard in presenting the proposal, who spent the last 10 days working really hard on this case and probably spent a lot of time in the last few months in preparation for this event. I was thinking about this today, and this event could not have taken place without an army of volunteers. And I would really like to take this moment to express them the all depth of gratitude Kappa has towards them. Um, if we had to account for all the cost we would have to pay, it would not be possible to hold such an event. So thank you very much to Ian and Eugene who ran a successful and an extraordinary case competition. You had big shoes to fill in, and you did it with grace and dignity. Congratulations. It's a privilege to consider us not only colleagues but also friends. I also want to congratulate, not congratulate, thanks very much all the judges and especially the head judges for today, Noah Morris, who again, if it wasn't for them, we would not be able to hold such a competition. And they don't just bring judgment to the competition; they also brings, um, I would say, values to it, but mainly advice that you'll be able to follow, um, help to improve for our students. So, and mainly they're bringing wisdom to this competition. So, thank you very much to all the judges and to all the people who worked around Ian and Eugene. I won't name you because I'm scared that we'll forget names and I won't forgive myself to do this. But thank you very much to everyone who worked as a coach or as any kind of help you brought to Ian and Eugene. And for the students who participate today, this is an intense competition. It's incredible to think about the quality of the competition we can now hold in Canada because of all these extraordinary people who really believe in this event. And because of that, you can only get better. And so congratulations to all the students and just think that this is one experience. We hope that you'll come back. And if you don't come back because you're graduating and now you're entering the labor market, well, I hope that this experience was helpful in shaping your future. I know that, and I will finish with that. I know that I myself, when I look at all the young students we have today working really hard on these cases and all the wonderful ideas that are floating around, well, in these difficult times, it's kind of a, fresh breath that is really well appreciated. Donc, félicitations à tous les étudiantes et étudiants qui ont participé aujourd'hui à cette compétition de cas. C'est toujours rafraîchissant de voir vos idées, de les entendre. Et si c'était votre dernière expérience de compétition de cas, parce que maintenant vous allez entrer dans le marché du travail, sachez que c'est rafraîchissant de savoir que vous serez maintenant ces nouveaux jeunes leaders qui vont intégrer la fonction publique et qui seront nos nouveaux leaders de demain. Donc, merci beaucoup. Yann, je te cède la parole.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président. Merci pour ces bons mots. We will now hear from this year's head judge, Mr. Noah Morse. Mr. Morris will provide general feedback on how the teams approach the case and insights into how teams might improve for next year. Noah, the floor is yours.
Bonsoir à tous, je suis Noah Morse. Quelle journée extraordinaire. Longue mais tellement enrichissante. C'est ma deuxième participation et je suis très impressionné par le niveau d'engagement et d'esprit d'équipe dont font preuve les participants au concours des études de CAPPA. Good evening, everybody. What an extraordinary day this has been. Long, but very rewarding. This is my second year doing this, and I'm so impressed by the level of dedication of all the teams. Your case subject was a challenging one, both for policy professionals and for Canada as a country. Defending Canada in a world under transformation with fluid allies and threats all over the place, including at our borders, is a real policy conundrum. Let me start by acknowledging what brings us here. The work you've invested in this competition extends far beyond what we saw today. I know that behind each of these polished presentations were countless late nights in study rooms and heating debates over solutions, and you probably had lots of coffee, if not stronger stuff, and you spent a little more than a week, not much time, delving into the complexity of Canada's defense future, wrestling with incomplete data, vague future scenarios, regional disputes, and lots of competing interests. I've done this a number of times, and this was a meaty and very complex subject, one that most policy professionals have not dealt with in decades, save for a very select number of specialists in D&D. Besides the length between these policy studies, which is decades, the current environment and the risks have not been faced by Canada since the Second World War, and if you take into account the border, since the 19th century. Here are my observations, and after 13 presentations, I can tell you what we were looking for. Some of you delved deeply into tactics and specificity. Others stayed fairly high level. What we were looking for was a real, coherent strategy with substantive policy interventions that were realistic and well costed out. We were looking for some detail of the risks and understanding what those risks are, what they are now, and what they will be in the future. And we were looking for policy actions and initiatives that specifically address the risks that you outlined in your presentations. We were looking for policies that took into account the dynamics of the federal-provincial relationship, constitutional responsibilities of each level of government, and, as importantly, Canada's international role and its allies and its associations. We were looking for comprehensive policy presentations that included a detailed look of risks, a clear communication strategy, and clear messages that would sell whatever you are proposing to the people of Canada. We were looking for some sense of cost over time and the fiscal implications of the actions that you were proposing. And lastly, we were looking for strong presentations, slide materials that effectively presented these complex ideas to the decision makers. What was particularly notable, as it is every year, was how it was amazing watching you all collaborate together. Public policy is not a solo sport. It never has been, and it never should be. The challenges we face as a society are way too complex, too interconnected, and too important for any one person. We're living through a moment of profound complexity in public policy in Canada, and these challenges require a new generation of policy thinkers. I've seen that generation step up. I'm an old timer, kind of grizzled, cynical. It doesn't help when I've seen it all. Even as I am on the cusp of getting my TTC seniors pass, I'm so heartened and reassured that the next generation is so engaged. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for an inspiring day. Thank you for the important policy work you'll do tomorrow and for the tomorrows to come. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Noah Morris. Noah is our head judge for the second year in a row. That is an extensive commitment, and we remain extremely grateful. Although this is a competition, it is first and foremost a learning opportunity. Judges' feedback is essential in this regard. The judges each took detailed notes of all of the presentations today, which will be used for your individual team debriefs following this event, this reception. The feedback sessions are a highlight of the competition, and judges have been asked to be precise and detailed on areas where teams have done well, but they will also provide you with where there is room for improvement. So they will not sugarcoat this. They will provide you with honest and detailed feedback in terms of your performance. And now, we've kept the ceremony a bit shorter this year because we know that's what you're here for. And now the moment you have all been waiting for, when we announce the winners of this year's National Public Administration Student Case Competition for 2026. Again, all teams should be extremely proud of the work they have put in and the high quality of their performance. We will first announce the third place team before announcing the team who finished second. Finally, we will announce the winner of the Shepherd Prize, named in honor, as I pointed out earlier, of Robert Shepherd, a professor at Carleton University, in recognition of his phenomenal contributions to the CAPPA case competition over the year. And now, the three top teams, as determined by our judging panel. En troisième place, le campus Glendon de l'Université York. Congratulations to Glendon Campus, York University. In second place, they're always there, always very competitive. Carleton University. And the winner of this year's Shepherd Prize, indeed, they have gone back to back and still on top, Concordia University. I don't know in this competition. I need to go back over the 15 winners. I don't know how many teams have repeated back to back. That is quite an accomplishment. So congratulations to Concordia. We know that many of you who did not place in the top three will be disappointed, though it is important to highlight again the extremely high quality of presentations across the board. We salute our winning teams and we recognize all teams for your excellent performance here today. In a moment, we will move to the last part of our competition day program, the team debrief. As noted just a few minutes ago, this is an opportunity to get some honest feedback on your performance. The program indicates the judge that has been assigned for your team's debrief, as well as your debrief start time. Shortly, the technicians will make sure that each of you is placed in your proper breakout room. For those of you in the 7:50 p.m. time slot, please chat among yourself a few minutes while your assigned judge will be with you as soon as they conclude the first debrief period. Once your feedback sessions are completed, you are done for the day and free to go and take advantage of your Saturday night. Avant de terminer ce soir, before closing tonight, I would like to invite Eugene Lang to say to offer a few concluding thoughts.
Well, thank you, Ian. I'll make it very brief. First of all, Ian thanked everyone. I want to thank one person, and that is Ian. He has been a wonderful colleague throughout the last, 8 months on this. I think we've worked very well collaboratively together. We've never been in the same room physically throughout this entire time, which is fitting given that the competition is virtual. But he has done yeoman's work here. He and his team have really pulled this together, and I want to thank him as a valued colleague, and it's been a pleasure working with him. I'm also glad to hear from some of you that you think we've filled Rob Shepherd's shoes, but I will note it's taken 4 feet to fill 2 shoes. And the final thing I would say is, I have described this competition. I've been involved in it now for about 11 years, mostly as a coach until this year. And I've described it to people as the Olympics, the Olympic Games for public policy, graduate public policy schools across this country. And it's fitting that this year it ends at the pinnacle of the 2026 Winter Olympics. We're now effectively at the closing ceremonies, as it were. And tomorrow, of course, Canada faces off literally against the United States, which is also kind of fitting, given the theme of the case. So I hope we're all going to be up early watching Canada tomorrow. I certainly will be cheering them on, and I want to thank everyone for their participation. It's been a wonderful few months working on this, and this was a grueling day for me, but I've enjoyed it very much. So thank you again, and hopefully we'll see you all next year. And back to you, Ian.
Thank you very much, Eugene. So we're going to ask participants to just be patient for a few seconds while we finalize the breakout rooms and send you to your appropriate rooms and make sure that we get the right judge into the right room. In the meantime, we are wishing everybody an incredible end to the academic term. And as was pointed out by our president, many of you who might be graduating, we really do wish you the absolute best of luck in your future professional endeavors. This ends the awards ceremony. Go into your debrief sessions, take as much as you can. Thank you very much, everyone. We had a great time. It was a great day, and we wish you all the very best. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.